Today's opening toast is to all of the men that I have written who are completely based on my exes, and it's toast. So I
Cheers
apologize to you, cheers to you, and thank you for the material.
Love that for you.
Thanks.
I don't have enough exes to have enough material.
Do you want to start with the smash or pass lightning round?
Yes. Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm totally ready.
Mr. Darcy.
Smash.
Smash. Absolutely smash.
Connell Waldron.
Smash. I mean, but I think I'm jaded by the movie because like obviously Paul Mescal. Smash. But okay, we're gonna go Gatsby.
I'm gonna go with pass because I don't want to deal with that emotional baggage.
Too much. Okay, the guy from Akatar.
Resand. I'm definitely gonna smash that 100%. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I know there's some like emotional trauma there, but it's like not nearly as bad as Gatsby.
Laurie Little Women. You're smashed on that one.
He has like questionable like.
No, go ahead, defend him.
He's like a little bit on the morally gray side, and I kind of love that.
Agreed.
What about you?
I'm gonna pass a Laurie. Okay, last one. Last one's a real smash for me, so I have to know your opinion, but I'm gonna go with Atticus Finch.
Does this go along with your that one gentleman from the Discovery Channel?
Are we making public my love for the host of Expedition Unknown? I think Atticus is he'd be like a really good husband, and he's such a good dad and lawyer.
Okay, if we were gonna do like an F, marry, kill situation, definitely marry.
I would marry Atticus Finch, definitely, but also smash that. Okay. This is like a perfect segue though. What was your very first attempt or experience at writing a male character for the first time?
When I was like experimenting with like, hey, can I actually write? I think I based everything off of Rowan from Throne of Glass series.
So did you feel like he was like the perfect, like, I want?
Yeah. I didn't even like try to write my husband into a character or try to write an ex. It was just no one's unhinged enough for me to want to write a character solely based off of them.
Okay. I totally get that. But like because we're also into like book boyfriends right now. And who's your favorite book boyfriend? Which, don't get me wrong, I live for the book boyfriend. I'm wondering like what's the difference between a book boyfriend and a truly believable man? Do we want to read believable men?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. I think believable men would just be disappointing and way too close to reality. I think they're way too predictable to spend hours with them in a book when it's supposed to be for leisure.
That is such a great point. It is supposed to be for enjoyment. In that, I feel like there has been the rise of the emotionally intelligent man in fiction. And is that believable? Because I do think it at least gives them, when I write, I feel like my biggest fear is, am I going to just make this guy a D-bag? Is he just going to come off as a D-bag because I went through this experience and like I just have it in my head, or my narrator, right? Like my narrator is experiencing it. And so like, is she just seeing this as one very one-dimensional dude that does this bad thing? And so we can just judge him the entire rest of the book on this one bad thing he did.
Yeah.
Which is not believable. So how much do we want to like admit our character's flaws in the eyes of like the guy that we're writing?
Is it easier to write male characters' flaws or female main characters' flaws? Because I struggle with reading one-dimensional female characters because they don't have flaws.
Yeah, and obviously like it depends on the POV that you are writing from. Like if you are writing from this like all-knowing, omniscient perspective, how it's so challenging to be like, we are showing everybody's true colors all the time, because that's also not real life. I think Emily Henry does a good job at giving us more of the like millennial or Gen Z, slightly more emotionally intelligent man as a new type of book boyfriend.
I'd agree with that. And I think it's when you, as a writer, when you craft a male character that has depth, has flaws, but the positive aspects of their personality don't outweigh the flaws, I think it almost gives women permission to love someone's flaws too. As a reader, it's really nice when the man fucks up and the female main character's just like, yeah, you done bad. Like, and actually addresses it and doesn't just like skate over it, because it gives the woman a moment of power then to rise to the occasion.
I think what we're liking too in reading book boyfriends is that vulnerability of like saying like, I fucked up. Oh my God, it's like so hard to write though.
It is. And it's hard to write it and have it actually be believable.
Yeah, because you do just want to write this like either perfect dude who says the right things and he broods and he swoons and he breathes really hard and he's obsessed with you, but not too obsessed with you.
Like gives you space, but
it's also not real. But to your actual point, like, am I writing something that people actually, should I be writing it like so that it's super believable as a real man? Or like, should I be writing it as like, I'm writing it for the girls?
Well, I think this is a good moment to have a poll of, when you are reading a book, what do you actually want the man to be? Do you want him to be idealized, or do you want him to be realistic to the point of you kind of hate him? Or third option, do you want like a happy little in-between where they're evolved but still screw up?
Exactly. In my experience so far, like a lot of my editing has come down like of male characters has been, oh my God, why is he coming in and just like making everything better and saving her or changing her mind about something, or just like, and it's like so easy to do. I'm either he's an asshole who cheats and is a D-bag jerk and we're all gonna hate him, or he's gonna come in and like save her, not in like a dramatic saving, but like he's gonna open her eyes to a new way of thinking. And I'm like, okay, not like, is this what I want, or is this what I should be writing? Like, is this just a one-dimensional dude?
So my first pass of my first novel, dude was one-dimensional. He saved the day, but like became emotionally intelligent and helped her and did all of this other stuff. Like gave her space, like wasn't too overburdening, let her shine on her own, all of this shit. Second pass, he screwed up a few times because it added depth to her of how does she actually overcome it. But my instinct was to write perfection in a male. That's weird.
I don't know, because we might be writing it for you, which brings me to my next point. I think when you look at romance, all this shit goes out the fucking door. If you are writing romance, which I know that you have romance in your book, or like you're like romantasy, is that how you would describe it? Right.
Yep, definitely.
Do you have multiple POVs? So you have a men. I can write books.
I can speak English.
You have a man's POV, but what was that? What's that like, and what were your priorities? What did you focus on writing that?
Oh my God, I loved writing his POV. It was so interesting because I would write something and I would have my husband read it and be like, do these thoughts actually come across a man's brain?
Stop.
And most of the time it was not even close. So
exactly.
I find it really interesting how others perceive you. Not saying I want to take everyone's opinions about myself and like give them life, but I love to understand how certain traits come across, either in writing or real life or whatever. So when I got to write the male character's point of view, it wasn't because I wanted to. It was because I needed that moment where the reader could see how the female main character was perceived. Because in her head, she knows everything. She has it all under control, but she is scared shitless about what is transpiring in front of her. So when I had the male character point of view, he saw right through the I am perfect, I am composed facade. And it was really fun to write that. And I think it was needed in order to show, especially towards the end, to show her shift and to show her actual growth of like how she's perceived at the beginning versus how she's perceived at the end. There's like a whole. Ooh.
That makes so much sense.
This is why I write romantasy, so I can make up my own rules.
For romance, it's also really hot to see it from the other person's side when it's the scenes that you're getting to fast forward to read. And you're just like, when does it happen? When does it happen? And you're like waiting so long for it to happen that it happens and you get this one perspective, but then you're like, oh, I get to read that whole scene again with the other perspective. And that whoever came up with whoever was the first person to do that, you changed the world for better.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your service. Thank you.
This is a toast to that person.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Because that is the most brilliant thing I think about reading romance. Mm-hmm. As somebody who doesn't really, like, I write romantic elements, but I'm not writing a romance. And I was like, oh, shit.
So do you remember? Do you remember when I asked you, or you asked me or someone, how long your sex scenes are? Yeah. And I said, like, it's like a chapter or two. And you're like, mine's a paragraph.
I told you my beta readers were like, did they have intercourse? Or did they
have... Okay, so I just got done reading Allie Hazelwood's newest book, Mate. There was a good chunk that was probably, it felt like 3 or 4 chapters. And there was no other sex scene in the entire book, but it was 3 or 4 chapters long of that sex scene. And I did not get tired of it one bit. And I applaud her on her skills to write that long of a moment. Well, she did say it was like a 3-day sexcapade, but it was like really well done. And it wasn't cringy. But then again,
contribute to this conversation because we need to be schooled in how to write. That's a whole nother episode. That is like writing sex scenes. It's another whole episode. But the male POV and that sex scene, you know what? I say, who cares? You write it for the girls.
You feel the worship that the man is encountering.
Write it for the girls. We do not need a realistic perspective to really dive into the psyche of the human experience. We just want a perfect sex scene with a perfect boyfriend at that point.
I agree.
I also think at the same time, the other thing, so I think there are romantic elements to writing the male perspective. But I think that, again, I think something like banter, like Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry, and like most of those, I think Dolly Alderton, like contemporary writers, I think really nail this part of contemporary fiction starting to be a thing, which is literally like banter. And I think that banter can also make or break chemistry. But when you're writing male banter, see, like, and now I'm thinking, like, if you are writing a male character, are you just looking at them as a person that it like serves a purpose in the story rather than like the gender?
Way to make me think while I'm drinking tequila.
I know. Well, see, this is where I'm going because I'm thinking now, like, I mean, I have 3 love interests in my book, and they all come at different times. Like, there's no like love triangle or anything. But they all serve like a different purpose in the plot, just the way my female characters do. You know, so like, I think when I'm writing like the ultimate like scenes where she's picking who she wants to be with and who she actually really falls for. And I'm wondering like why she falls for that person. And I want everybody to fall for that person too. But it's also like that person's serving a purpose for my character. And so I'm making him be whatever I need that to be, probably.
I think it really comes down to what your book's purpose is.
Yeah.
Like your book, it is all about that female main character. 100%. And her arc and her growth and her really just evolution of a person.
A lot of what shows that is having romantic interests and like you can't, I don't know. So like maybe we take that away from this episode. But I need a good book boyfriend when I am reading. And so like I do want the vulnerability. I do want the glorious dual POV sex scenes. I do want, like, I don't want an ick. That's where, like, sometimes, like, people we meet on vacation, there are points where I'm almost getting an ick from that main character, where I'm just like, he's kind of nerdy and I don't know if I'm totally into that. By the end, you're like in love with him, but like, I don't know if I want it.
If you're going to spend the time writing a male character who ends up falling in love with the female main character, if you actually question whether or not you as an individual would fall for him, that's probably not doing your job right.
You know what? That's exactly right. If there's anything that we learned today, it is that if he is too good to be true, then you probably wrote him.
He's definitely fiction.
He's definitely fiction.
Your next book that you're writing, whatever it's going to be, if you had to pick the trope that you were going to really like settle on, what would it be?
A romance trope? Oh my God. Everything's a trope. So like,
yeah, totally. Everything's a trope.
This is my work in progress now, but falling in love with a famous person that you get to meet and they fall in love with you. What is that trope?
I don't know, but that sounds good to me.
But that's a trope, right? I mean, like fall in love with a rock star and you somehow get to like meet them and then they fall in love with you. That is my next book, and it is a rom-com. And I feel like when I'm writing it, I'm like, this is such a trope.
I'm gonna go with second chance romance.
Hey, as you get older, second chance romance becomes a little bit more relatable, I think.
Is it bad that I'm happily married of 10 years and I think writing a second chance romance still is intriguing?
No, that would be like, if I wasn't writing the rom-com right now and just started it, like I totally think that would be like the one I picked, because yeah, now that we're not 23 anymore, it's like kind of hot to think about there's a second chance at love all the time at any age and at any stage in life. Yeah, that's very exciting. I totally get that.
Yeah. And it's not even like I'm writing this from experience. Because I think when people write their love story verbatim, it kind of loses its magic a little.
That's super interesting.
But unless it's like this big, giant, grand love, think of like Julia Child. Her love was big and grand and bold, and it was beautiful when you like wrote it down and looked at it that way. But
was it Paul?
Paul. Yeah, you can see the book in the background by Bob Spitz.
I'm just picturing Stanley Tucci, so it just seems like a grand romance.
Stanley Tucci.
I gotta say, I think it's smash.
Good.
And this is what happens when you are an hour into recording.
Just random people's names start to get like called out, and you're like, smash. Pedro Pascal? Yes.
I was just about to say it.
Anywho. Okay, yes. Like their love, big and bold. My love, I don't think, if I would like actually write it out, I don't think people would get it.
I think it's universal though. I think love is universal. And so like all of those things, it just depends on how you're writing it. You're a great writer. You would write a beautiful, compelling love story. So like, I don't know. I think no matter how grand or like great the actual plot of the love story is, I think those feelings like everybody can identify with and will feel the feelings of like when they felt that. Or
it's
want
true.
to feel that for your book boyfriend husband.
Are you saying that everyone's love story is big, bold, and grand?
Yes, everyone's love story is big, bold, and grand.
You're such a romantic.
Keep writing those fictional men for the rest of us.
I have a heavy pour today.
Me too.
So after all of the self-inflicted pain that us as writers really just love to indulge in, let's look at some of the pain readers have left for other authors, like, published ones. So this reoccurring segment is probably going to be my favorite. And it's called 1-Star Review of the Week.
Absolutely, because there is nothing like reading Jane Austen just getting dragged. I love it. I do have a Pride and Prejudice one this week, actually.
Really? You found one? Okay.
I did.
Was it hard to find?
No, people truly like to leave their honest opinions, even on cult classics, or especially on classics, I will say. So you'll enjoy it. Okay, so Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. I disliked this. They cut out all the scenes with zombies. Obviously, this was edited to try to appeal to a wider audience.
Why?
This is my runner-up, which might be better, but it's my honorable mention today on 1-star reviews. Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Jesus Christ. What? Okay, sure. Was it written by a high schooler, this review?
I kept hoping they would get to the point and give me some extra instructions, but I still don't know how to kill a mockingbird.
I think they
might
missed
start
the
making
point.
it my mission to actually like go on and troll classic novels this way.
This is really going to be. We should have just made our entire podcast.
Yeah, just 1-star.
Screw talking about writing and our feelings and the highs and lows of publishing your own book. Let's just read 1-star reviews. Yeah.
If you have a good 1-star review, please post it, because in researching this very serious topic, I have plenty for upcoming episodes. So I would love to keep doing this, and I can't wait for you to look at these.
Oh my God, I'm ecstatic. I am just, the anticipation is palpable.
Yeah, and send us them too, because then we'll read them on the podcast. Like, these are just ones that I found great content. I have a feeling that there's a lot more out there that you guys will come up with as well. Oh my God. Great Gatsby. Gatsby was obviously drunk when he was writing this book and must have thought that his story was pretty clever.
So I know F. Scott Fitzgerald was drunk.
A lot. And Hemingway, but I think this is the misconception though. Hemingway, I at least know he was the least drunk when he was working on a novel. Like, he stopped drinking while he was writing. And then it was the in-between, which we are all in. The waiting from publishers, the waiting for publication, waiting for whatever he's waiting for. When he needs to send a letter in a freaking handwritten thing across an ocean, that's when he was the most drunk. So cheers to Hemingway.
I can feel you, Hemingway.
I feel your pain.
Well, okay. I don't think this is proven, but historically accurate in that because water wasn't potable back in the day of Shakespeare, I think he was just drunk all the time, and that's why he made up his own freaking words.
Just made him up.
Like,
I'm sitting here trying to just know how to write a man. This guy's just making up words. We're all doing it wrong.
yeah, we really are. We really should just be drunk, egotistical men.
And to wrap up the episode on how to write men.